You can see some of the casualties, shall we say, of the earlier winds this morning. This boat has run aground after it was anchored out in the ocean a little bit here. This sailboat, large sailboat, but the winds brought it to shore and it's been run aground ever since.
These cars were literally turned into boats. Let me give you an inside look here. You can see water in the inside. This is coming up halfway up to the door because the drivers of these cars say that they were driving. It was a heavy rain, consumed the whole windshield, and next thing they knew, they were literally floating off the ground. And so these cars are kind of out of commission, and they say it was something very scary to live through.
They say they get it. If you don't live here, perhaps you moved on. You don't have to see things like this every day, this which used to be a martial arts studio. They want people to know, though, they are still here. Images like this are everywhere. They are recovering. It's just a slow process.
He's been climbing down a few steps at a time and then kind of stopping. He's been doing that for the last hour or so. I want to step out of the way and let you get a little closer look in from our vantage point on the ground at what's going on up there on that tower. Now, Orlando police say the man climbed over a fence into the top of that tower at about 11 o'clock this morning.
You may or may not notice at the grocery store this past weekend that lobster prices are significantly less. And which lobsters am I talking about? I'm talking about Maine lobsters, which are the ones with the claws on them.
It's been raining nonstop for hours out here, which has contributed just again to some minor flooding here in this part of in this parking lot, but we're also near a dock here at this marina, and the water, as you can see, is starting to come up over the dock. Again, just within the last hour, we're getting more and more water coming up over the dock.
While investigators continue their work out here on the scene, as you can see behind me, we have been able to confirm just in the last half an hour that the suspect in this incident is also wanted in another incident.
They certainly have, and I do want to get to those names first, Eric. They are Stanley Rampy and Raymond Dodd.
Earlier today, the Orange County Sheriff's Office released a statement from Sheriff John Mina, and in it, it says he has a zero tolerance for domestic violence and that these allegations are going to be investigated.
And one of the key decisions in court this morning was whether State Attorney Aramis Ayala can testify in Markeith Lloyd's trial.
Governor DeSantis tweeting yesterday that the Secretary of State will be reviewing Florida's election security policies.
At this point, it's still unclear whether anyone involved in this shooting actually lives at this complex. Police also not yet releasing a motive.
There were quite a few people, at least 12 that took the stand. We heard from her boss, bank and security officials, and then also law enforcement, plenty of law enforcement taking the stand. But perhaps the most emotional, that was her husband, Robert Fulford.
This is where that core stage Pathfinder, the mock-up's going to make its way inside the vehicle assembly building here, where it will be assembled as for crews to get accustomed to everything out here.
Temperatures will really heat up once the sun comes up, and that's only a few moments away. It's nice to be out here in the daylight here at 6:31.
I would imagine over the next couple of hours, we are talking about jacket weather, and Sharon, tonight, a thicker coat, maybe even an extra blanket for the bed as we drop into the 30s and 40s.
We're looking great throughout our Tuesday. There may be a very stray shower, but rain chances really low today and the next few days.
Milk, by the way, I know you haven't had it, I know, but it's frozen and it tastes kind of like a Skittle, a tropical Skittle. That's the best way. All right, let's go to work. Can I help you at least a little bit? All right, so here we go. All right, reporting live here from Disney's Hollywood Studios. Allison Walker-Torres, Spectrum, Bay News 9. I'm a really good helper.